Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Host Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. Family massacre in Arima, 4 siblings killed, 5 relatives injured. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Monday 25th September 2023, brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. Details when we return.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all, perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so glad to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Welcome back. The community of La Retreat Extension, Arima, has been thrust into mourning as the shooting led to deaths of 3 children, a woman, and the wounding of 5 people. CNC3's Shane Superville visited the neighborhood at the Peterkin family as their neighbors came to terms with their loss.
I am traumatized. If they could come and kill 4 children here, who is we?
An eerie silence fell over the community of La Retreat Extension as residents quietly mourned the murders of 10-year-old Faith Peterkin, 14-year-old Ariana Peterkin, 17-year-old Shane Peterkin, and 19-year-old Tiffany Peterkin. Police said the siblings were shot by gunmen as they slept in their beds at around 12:25 a.m. When CNC3 News visited the neighborhood later that morning, emotional relatives of the murdered siblings firmly declined to comment and asked that reporters leave the property. Several residents who were still shaken from the murders also declined to speak on camera but expressed their concern over the murders of the siblings and the lack of police patrols in the neighborhood.
Police soldiers and police supposed to be looking for the murderers and them all now. That's unfair for all them children and them to dead. You know them from small babies so. And that's conscious so. That's hard for people in the neighborhood to do.
Recalling the sound of gunfire earlier that morning, a resident told CNC3 News they hid in their homes too frightened to look outside.
And hear anything like that when I see rocking, and they're frightened to death. Because when it's board house we have them. You hear me? That's not nice because them children, them, we mind them from small, we know them.
Councillor for Blancheshire Santa Rosa, Roger Moore, visited the Peterkins to extend his condolences to them.
The community is mourning and there will be a sense of fear. I do ask the community to grieve with us. It's important that we cry and we deal with the grief as a community. However, I am certain that the TTPS and the institutions share the responsibility to lend assistance to the community will come out and they will do the necessary to bring back the community in a state of normalcy.
Various police units were dispatched to the community and were seen canvassing the area as they continued their investigations into the murders. Head of the Northern Division, Senior Superintendent Kerwin Francis, spoke to CNC3 about their investigation this afternoon.
I want to assure those family members and the wider community of Guanapo that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service will spare no effort in conducting investigations into this matter, using all available resources to bring to justice those responsible for this act.
As the families of the Peterkin siblings continue to mourn their deaths, the entire neighborhood is traumatized and left to wonder if they could be next. Shane Superville, CNC3 News.
In the meantime, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley addressed the United Nations General Assembly in New York on Thursday afternoon, making sure to mention the family's distress at the hands of the proliferation of illegal guns in Trinidad and Tobago. Jewel Brown of TV6 News reports.
Only today, Mr. President, we experienced the loss of life of 5 members of one family killed by an assailant with an assault weapon.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley speaking about the impact of the amount of guns being used in violent crimes in Trinidad and Tobago as he delivered a national statement at the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York on Thursday. He made reference to initial reports of the brutal killing of members of the same family by gunmen in the heights of Guanapo shortly after midnight. In a statement, the police commissioner had confirmed 4 persons, all under the age of 20, including a 10-year-old child, lost their lives, while 5 others were wounded. The Prime Minister identified a major cause of the challenge Trinidad and Tobago is facing where gun violence is concerned.
Mr. President, this situation has worsened largely because of the accelerated commercial availability, coupled with illegal trafficking from countries of manufacture into the almost defenseless territories of the Caribbean.
The Prime Minister then gave the UN General Assembly the murder statistics in Trinidad and Tobago.
In a population of 1.4 million people in Trinidad and Tobago, we experienced over 600 murders last year, 90% of which involved handguns and increasingly assault weapons. Within our best efforts and a huge consumption of our already scarce resources, we have seen over 400 violent firearms-driven killings already this year.
Dr. Rowley said this is a crisis shared by almost all of the Caribbean territories.
Our ability to safely navigate our destiny to the harbor of sustainable development by 2030 is stymied by challenges and threats, some of which are existential. One such threat is the proliferation and use of illegal firearms in our society, which, just like in other jurisdictions, bring untold suffering to many families and communities and the nation as a whole.
The Prime Minister spoke of efforts by CARICOM to find solutions and said Trinidad and Tobago remains committed to the Arms Trade Treaty. Jewel Brown, TV6 News.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick in association with our friends at
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Catholic priest Father Albert Smith has made an impassioned plea to local politicians in St. Lucia to respect each other in spite of their political differences. Zane Romulus of the DBS News World reports.
During a recent appearance on DBS's Newsmaker Live, Catholic priest Father Albert Smith delivered a heartfelt plea for unity and compassion to local politicians. Father Smith, who is known for being vocal on social issues, highlighted the significance of love and respect among the country's leaders.
I would really want to say to our political leaders, put St. Lucia first. Love one another as Christ has loved you. We're all different. And, not everyone would support yellow or not everyone would support red. But there needs to be a level of respect for each other. A level where we regard each other as a child of God and respect that person. So we don't go, slandering people left, right, and center.
Father Smith emphasized that the country would be better off if politicians incorporate their Christian values into their work.
Many of our politicians are Christians. They either go to the Catholic Church, they go to the Adventist Church, or whatever. I know a number of them who are Catholics, a number of them who are Adventists. Why don't we carry on the gospel values into our political life? And if we do that, St. Lucia is going to become a better place. Let us not allow, allow the devil to have the better of us and, to disregard the other person, because we are all made in the image and likeness of God with the dignity of a human person, and let us treat each other that way.
Father Smith also expressed his hope that the people of St. Lucia can start to appreciate each other more and experience Christ in a deeper and more profound way. His message of unity and compassion was a reminder of the importance of coming together to make positive changes in our communities. For the DBS News World, I am Zane Romulus.
Foreign Minister of the Republic of China on Taiwan, Dr. Joseph Wu, has congratulated the Premier of Nevis, Mark Brantley, and his administration for the evident progress and development in Nevis over the past 5 years. Andre Huey of SKN Newsline has more.
Dr. Wu, appointed by the Republic of China-Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen as special envoy to visit St. Kitts and Nevis during the celebration of the 40th anniversary of independence, visited Nevis on September 19th. His delegation was hosted by Her Honor Mrs. Hailita Liburd, Deputy Governor General, and Premier Mark Brantley.
I'm honored to be here again as Special Envoy of President Tsai Ing-wen to celebrate the auspicious 40th anniversary of the independence of St. Kitts and Nevis. Judging from your reactions, I can see some of you understand Mandarin rather well. And first of all, I would like to extend my deep gratitude to Deputy Governor General Liburd and Premier Brantley for their warm welcome. The renowned Nevis Nice hospitality is always a delight. And also, I'm so impressed by the speeches and singing and performances that we have just enjoyed. They show the success of the mentoring program and highlights the dedication of Ms. Chen, as well as the diligence of the students. 希望你们继续加油，也期待在台湾看到你们。I look forward to seeing you all in Taiwan.
Minister Wu also commended the Nevis Island administration for introducing Mandarin in schools.
I commend the leaders of Nevis for their efforts to broaden young people's horizons. These not only strengthen people-to-people exchanges, but also opens up new avenues for cultural exchanges and cooperation between our two countries. Moving forward, I'm confident that the close bond between the people of Taiwan and St. Kitts and Nevis will only continue to grow and flourish.
The visiting diplomat was treated to performances in Mandarin from some of the students who recently passed the test of Chinese as a foreign language computerized adaptive test. He also toured the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park, which was funded by the Republic of China-Taiwan and the Nevis Island Administration. I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline.
Marissa Dalrymple Filbert tenders her resignation as Jamaica's House Speaker and MP. Dwayne Anderson of TVJ News has this report.
Welcome back to Primetime News.
And a special welcome once again to our viewers on OneSpotMedia.com.
We begin this evening with news about the dramatic resignation of House Speaker Marissa Dalrymple Filibert.
Mrs. Dalrymple Filibert is also stepping down as Member of Parliament for Southern Trelawney. Now the developments come 2 days after she became embroiled in legal issues uncovered by the Integrity Commission.
Dwayne Anderson has been reading her statement and has this report.
Since the Integrity Commission has decided to charge me criminally for an omission, I have considered the damage this has done to my reputation and have decided to tender my resignation, both as the Speaker of the House of Representatives and a Member of Parliament for South Trelawney, with immediate effect. End quote. The words of Marissa Dalrymple Filibert late Thursday afternoon, which sent shockwaves across the country. She has found herself in legal hot water over her failure to include a Benz GLA 250 motor vehicle in her statutory filings from 2015 to 2021. She was also facing pressure for her use of a government concession as detailed by the Integrity Commission's probe. As for the failure to include the vehicle in her filings, Mrs. Dalrymple Filibert said, quote, I maintain the omission of the vehicle was a genuine oversight, as there would have been no allegation against my name had I included the vehicle in my declaration. Therefore, I had no motive to have deliberately omitted it. End quote. She also claimed that nowhere in the report has the Integrity Commission raised any question or concern about the source of funding for the vehicle, which was purchased through a loan from a bank. Additionally, she explains the vehicle was never sold or transferred to anyone in the past 7 years. Mrs. Dalrymple Filibert argues what has happened to her could have happened to any other member of parliament, public servant, or civil servant. Her decision to resign, she said, is voluntary and not at the request of anyone. End quote. Furthermore, she says she remains a member and supporter of the JLP, and more particularly to the Oldness administration. She concluded by stating she's looking forward to the trial of the matter for which the Integrity Commission has ruled that she be charged. Dwayne Anderson, TVJ News.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's a service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.